Recording in progress.
All right, whenever you're ready, Lee.
All right, so let's call this meeting to action at 6:01 p.m.
All right, and we do have quorum. All three board members are present. And Lee, was the notice posted?
Yes, it was.
Okay, I know that you guys had a chance to review the minutes. There was those typos. The published minutes will have that corrected. That'll be done without a doubt before I leave tomorrow, so that we can have it published on Vantica. So with those quick edits on the spelling. Is there a motion to approve our meeting minutes from April?
I motion to approve the meeting minutes.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
All right,
All in
jump
favor,
into-
signal by saying aye. Need a vote on that motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Jump into our financial report. I was locked out of the S drive, as I'm sure you guys. We'll start with the manager's report, and then we'll jump into the financials. So I'm Lee. I'm aware that you spoke with Neil yesterday, so you know that I'll be stepping away. Tomorrow will be my last day. The cam that will be taking over for me, Vicky is on the call. Vicky, can you say hi to the board?
Hello, everyone.
Hello, Vicky.
Can you see me okay?
Yes, we can.
Wonderful.
And if-
I look forward to meeting you all in person.
Likewise.
And of course, Neil and Tina will also be, a bit hands-on as well during this transition time to make sure everything's smooth. I've given her a very detailed transition. We actually were on property today as well. I took her around for an inspection, kind of showed her where, the hot spots, where to look. Basically the entire property. I also did drop off the trash bin to be assembled today and then placed on Whistling Trail. So once that's complete, reach out and let us know that it was placed where it needs to be placed. I did,
So you dropped it off to,
yeah, to Renovita, to the gentleman.
and they're
Yeah,
and they're putting it together. Is there going to be a
Yes.
fee for that?
yeah. So they're putting it together. Yes, it was the agreement was $100 fee. He's putting it together and gonna place it on Whistling Trail. Excuse me, sorry. I did take a look at our new playground fence that took forever for us to get, and it does look good. Everything is in line, so we are able to move forward with that invoice. They did a great job. I'm very much happy with the final. I don't know if any of the board members were able to take a look at any point, but I did walk and check it out, and everything is good there. So that's good news. On my walkthrough today, I did notice that there's another swing on the GoldenEye playground that is broken, and then the one that was repaired a couple of months ago, it looks like somebody swung it and it's like hung over the thing. I tried to unswing it, but I'm not that tall. So that's something that we may want to look at in the future. One of the swings is broken and the other one is kind of tangled up.
Broken, like
Yeah, it's
same
like I think
way.
it's the link. I think it might be the same. Yeah, the same way. It might be a simple fix rather than have someone spend hundreds of dollars on a fix when someone in the community might be able to fix it for a relatively low cost. But that's just something that should be on the board's radar, and we can advise Vicky how you'd like to address that in the future. Other than that, I know we'll review the violation report. I did want to state, I don't know if anybody was able to see the violation that we did send to the attorney. That actually was corrected. when I drove by today, I specifically wanted to show Vicky that unit, and to my pleasant surprise, that lawn was mowed. I did take a picture that I'll send to the board just so they can see. But I wanted to bring that to your attention that that was in fact corrected. I'm not sure if the pre-suit mediation letter was sent out and that is why it's corrected, or at this point they just decided to correct it on their own. But I did want to bring that to the board's attention. I thought that was
Now,
pretty good news.
if we're talking about the same house, they had more than just the grass as an issue, correct?
I'd have to review the violation report for that specific address and see what was open. I think when I was there, and I didn't close anything. Actually, I could reopen it on my phone. I didn't close it because obviously we sent it to the attorney recently. So I wanted to speak with the board on that matter before, I or Vicky reaches out to Angela to discuss this and see what she did, if maybe she did anything on our end, and that's why they went and did the work. Sorry, I gotta go.
I don't know if we talk about this house as a number or as.
No, we do the account number.
Yeah.
We can talk about the account number. I'm looking at, it looks like account number ending in 6562. That was the only one that was at attorney. Looks like for Mow and Edge. That was the violation. Let me pull up here.
It's just that I know we have one household that had that plus other financial situations going on.
Well, that was the one. That's the one that has, yes.
Okay,
that
so we're speaking about the same house. Because obviously I don't know account numbers either.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure that we don't remove anything from the attorney because we know that there were other issues besides the.
Well, those are essentially separate issues.
Okay.
So
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
So the covenant violation, that's a different matter that the attorney is dealing with, and then the financial, the collections for the assessments, that involves additional fees and things like that. So, but I do see a lot of other violations that are on here that are not at the attorney. So 1, 2, 3. Looks like 3 other violations, and the 4th is the one that's at the attorney. So in a future inspection, Vicky can take a look at these and see if these need to be progressed. And then we'll open a dialogue with the attorney to see where we are with the collections and what they advise with that Mow violation that is currently with them.
All right. So I just wanted to give you an update on that one unit. I thought a little good news couldn't hurt. The fact that they did actually, at least take care of the grass issue today, and then we'll see.
Well, they took care of it a couple of days ago, which is a good thing.
Yeah.
I just knew that unfortunately there were other concerns.
Yeah. All right. So that really covers the manager's report. I'll jump into the financial report. I wasn't able to do the variance report for the board. I was trying to get it done today, and they transferred over. As you know, since I'm leaving, they transferred over my access on the S drive over to Vicky. So I wasn't
just make sure. Yeah, that's something that needs to be included with the board packet. So Vicky, just make sure when you're doing yours, the variance report, we have the financials. That's included in the board packet when you send it out, so that the board as well can have a few days to review it.
Okay.
But your total current operating account is at $285,342.11. Total current assets at $530,465.40. Your total current liabilities is at $45,501.49. Your total reserves at $242,123.29. All right. So your total income for the current period is at $33,605.75 with a positive variance of $2,321.75. And that was mostly due to late fees. For year to date, you're at $160,077.67 with a positive variance of $3,657.67. And again, that's mostly due to late fees. For your operating expense and grounds maintenance, your total grounds for the current period was $5,720. That's a positive variance of $3,160.84. It looks like there wasn't much work done on the conservation this period, and obviously no mulch work for this current period, and that's what the positive variance reflects. For the year to date, we're at $53,923.02, and that's a negative variance of $9,518.82. That seems mostly due to us overusing the general maintenance, but obviously we talked about this in months past. We do have the excess in operating, so even though we're currently running over budget by quite a bit, in that we are still good. For utilities for the current period, you're at $6,969.50 with a positive variance of $2,418.75, and that's mostly due to water, a little bit on electric.
I hadn't changed.
Can
For
we
a year,
please have homeowners mute yourselves? Thank you.
for the year to date, you're at $35,419.11. Of course, with a positive variance of $11,522.14, and we know that's mostly due to water and irrigation, which we discussed addressing in the future. For your administrative expenses for the current period, you're at $7,800.02 with a positive variance of $3,568.12, and it shows that we had no special events, nothing on legal for the month, although we know we may start accruing legal expenses with that issue that we discussed. For year to date, you're at $53,564.11 with a positive variance of $5,037.84. You funded into your reserves $1,500 for the period and $7,500 year to date. For your total expense, you're at $11,616.23 for the period. That is a positive variance. And for the year to date, you're at $9,671.43, and that also is a positive variance of $10,698.83. So we are still tracking under budget, even though we're pretty well over budget on the general maintenance, but we've been using that GL for a lot of the general maintenance items that have come up throughout the year.
I'm just happy to see the water bill. We were pretty astonished last year to see the kind of water bills we were getting. What was it, like over $20,000? So obviously the repairs on the sprinkler system have generated a positive thing. So I'm hoping and I'm hopeful that next year with getting all those fixed, we won't have those fixing fees, and it'll just be the water bill.
Yeah, and PLM is doing a good job keeping us, in the know of what they're finding. So I do think they've done a great job for the association.
And then
As far
we have it on record that the PLM is going to be doing the edges of all the islands in the main boulevard.
yes, that was
I think they call them the Mexican something plants that look very ugly. We're gonna remove them and put just grass in all the islands, and except for the first and the last one, we're putting
Mexican petunias.
that thing.
Oh my gosh, I'm dealing with that in another community too, and I've never heard of that until this
Well,
week.
the ones around the roundabout are they're still surviving, But all the islands in the middle of Mallard on the main boulevard,
Yeah.
yeah, they need to go. 'Cause there's
Yeah,
no.
they're apparently invasive. So yeah, they do
Well,
need
the
to go.
problem that we have is that they don't even look pretty because we have like, you may have this space, but you have breakages, like you don't, they're not full. So they just look ugly. It just looks ugly.
Yeah.
So we're going into reserves on that, right? To make sure that that gets all figured out. Isaac, you got all that kind of ironed out with Vicky?
Yeah,
Sure,
yeah. That
okay, good.
the what was approved was already sent to him. He was notified. He's free to start the work.
Okay. And then the only thing I have, and I mentioned this on a couple emails already, it's about the assets, the 107, the
Yes,
107,
yes. That
10,700, 10,720. Since with your exit, Neil, if I can just have you look at this because I have requested, and I've sent it, every time I get the email, it comes from that Vista email, so I reply back. But nobody's responded or fixed it. Those two lines of petty cash, they're incorrect, and they have
so
been forever.
so Daniel did respond, but he responded to me instead of responding to the board. But basically, he just gave me an action item. He stated that the board would need to make a motion to remove that petty cash line item from the financial report. If the motion passes, then he's able to remove it from the report, and it won't be reflected in future reports. That was what he instructed us to do, which is what I stated in the email. That if we just make that motion today, that he can have it removed from
And like I responded, we can make a motion, but I'm not understanding why that needed to be in motion since this was an error on someone in the finance. Again, the first line in the petty cash for the previous board member, that has not been in system even before Vista, and we have been talking about it for now a year. And then on the line item for myself, I definitely do not have that money on my
So
hand.
this was on there before even Vista took over.
I think
I
it was
saw
on there.
it was on there, but we've been, and the previous person has that it was we that was not there. It was
Yeah.
not, there was no petty cash. And then the line item for mine, it says that it's petty cash, but it's not really petty cash. It's, and I don't know how, I mean, it could say as that, but it's definitely not 2,500, it's only 1,000. So, but it's not even petty cash, it is money allotted from the $10,000 events budget.
But we have the credit card for the events budget, which is my understanding. Is that
Correct.
essentially the
But we don't have
the line of
10,000,
credit was.
but what I'm saying is that we don't have 10,000 plus another 1,000. And I
Yeah.
need to make sure that that is seen somewhere. It's not that we have 10,000 and then another $1,000 in petty cash, because the two are the same. It's essentially $9,000 for usage of credit card and then 1,000 in cash for some things that in some places that don't take credit cards.
So 9,001.
Correct. And so I need that to be reflected already because I have already set this different ways and it doesn't move, and I'm to the point right now, like.
All right, we'll get that updated. Let's just for the record, because probably accounting just wants to see it in the minutes that this is something that we've been dealing with for a while, and it doesn't hurt, to just get it in the minutes. So can we get a motion to reflect that on the financials, to remove the petty cash from the previous board member, correct? So let's do that first. Can we get a motion to remove that line item on the financials for the previous board member, as that was never accurate?
Emily, Darcy?
Make a motion.
Sorry, yes, I'll motion.
Okay. Emily motions. Do we have a second?
Can you
I
say your name? I can't see the,
Emily
Emily.
motion.
Emily, okay. And second,
I second.
Darcy second.
Darcy, okay.
All right. All in favor, signal by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
All right, all unanimous. Motion carried.
I got it.
Do we have to put a motion for the piece on
Yeah,
mine?
so let's just get that clarification. So the clarification, we need a motion that the clarification for the social budget is that it's $10,000, which includes $1,000 in cash and $9,000 to be spent from the credit card. Do I have a motion for that?
Yes, I motion for the events budget to be $9,000 and let's see if I can get this right, and $1,000 on the credit card and another $9,000 line, 10,000 in all.
9,000 on the credit card, $1,000 in cash. Correct.
So it's 1,000 in petty cash.
Correct. All right, so Darcy made that motion, and then do we have a second?
I'll second.
Emily seconded. All in favor signal by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
All right, unanimous, motion carried. So this will be reflected on the next financials. Sorry for the delay with this.
Thank you.
Any other matters on the financial reports you'd like to discuss?
We can move on. So I know when I sent over the collection report, we discussed the action items, and then the board obviously came back with their questions. I have already sent everything, including the previous meeting minutes, to our accounts receivable department, so that we can make sure that all those action items that the board already moved on, that he can get that taken care of, and that our future collections report should not reflect those action items anymore. Moving forward, before I leave tomorrow, I'm going to touch base with him and just make sure that he's tracking, that they're addressing this, and that Vicky's in the know, so that when your July collections report comes out, that it should no longer have those action items. So we're actually good there. Everything was discussed. And I do apologize that it wasn't already taken care of. It should have been. I always send my meeting minutes to all departments after they're completed, whenever there's action items that they need to address. So I do apologize that wasn't already addressed.
Just a question, the attorney payment plan, was that approved also?
Let me pull up.
Emily, I know we talked about this, and it seems you have better memory than me on this particular one. And Darcy.
Yes.
Aye.
That's great.
Homeowners, please mute yourself.
Yeah, I believe that it was that we all agreed to that payment plan.
And this was like a couple months ago, wasn't it?
Yes.
April.
I know we tossed it back and forth, and at the end of the day, we said in good faith, this homeowner is, committing to this, then okay, in good faith, we were going to take that offer.
Yeah, I remember because I believe it was a hot topic between do we really want to keep waiting or not? And then it was like, well, at least we'll get something.
Yeah. Okay, we'll have that definitely updated as well. Thank you.
All right. So
I think that then on the waiver request, we continue to feel the same way. All the hard costs are to remain. So for account 46546, they will still have a balance for the late fee and the interest. I'm sorry, no, for the admin and the ITL. What is ITL again?
Intent to lien.
So they would still have those fees, so we can remove the late and the interest. For account 46556, the return bank fee will remain. 46313, the bank return will remain. And then for 46548, we will waive the 25, the late and the interest. And the $10 admin fee will remain.
Got it. Thank you.
We're trying to be consistent.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Then that's a good policy to have.
Again, because we're not going to recoup those dollars. So,
Yeah.
I don't think there's anything else in there. Emily, Darcy, did you remember of any other hot topic?
That's the two, and then third with the lien with the mowing of the lawn. We'll sidebar about that. It's like half mowed and not taken care of.
Which is what I stated, and when I did my when I was there earlier with Vicky, I had stated, I was like, so they took the action, but which is actually, thank you for bringing that up, which is something I wanted to. So I found today on my drive, and I was mentioning to Vicky, and I told her that maybe she should suggest e-blasting, see if the board is comfortable with this. I'm seeing that a lot of the lawns in the community are being mowed, but they're not really being done in like an aesthetically pleasing way. It's not being done tidily, so you clearly see that homeowners are mowing their lawns. They're mowing them irregularly, but they're mowing them. But they're not edging. It's really not presenting always a neat appearance, and it's becoming quite frequent. And rather than which would have been probably 60 plus in the way of violations, I was going to suggest to the board that potentially send out an e-blast, just stating to the community, the importance of not just mowing your lawn, but making sure that it's a neat and tidy appearance. That it's being edged, that you're not just running the lawnmower over it and calling it a day, that you're making sure that it is aesthetically pleasing, that it's as uniform as can be, that it looks good. So I wonder what the board feels. Do you feel like we should just hit them all, or do you think we should try e-blasting the community to try to get cooperation on this matter?
E-blast them.
I was gonna say, I agree with emailing first, and then like in a month, if it's still an issue, then you can hit them with a violation, but like give them a chance to fix it.
Yeah. I know that
it was so frequent. It was like widespread. It wasn't 3 or 4 or 5. It was kind of widespread.
And it's hard, right? Because we've been having a drought, so
yeah,
people are not really taking care of their. I mean, hey, I have my lawn person comes every week, and he literally hasn't even been coming every week because the grass is so dry, right? Like there's no water. But so I know it's been an issue, but I believe that e-blasting everyone, giving them a chance to like recourse, and then hitting them with the violations. It's like we foretold you.
I have a question about the e-blast. So you're talking about just a blanket that will go to everybody? Just a general email, correct?
A general email, just notifying the community that this has been noticed, and we're asking for cooperation, and homeowners take responsibility for their lawns and make sure that they're keeping it in a neat, presentable appearance.
Right. So this is just like another reminder.
Yeah, just a friendly reminder. Hopefully, I would assume most homeowners would see it and be like, okay, well, know that the association and VistaCam is looking out for this, and rather than us get hit with violations in the future, maybe address it. But then after a month, whichever ones aren't addressing their lawns properly, then of course Vicky will start, issuing those violations on her inspection.
Yeah, it's tough. Again, I get it. We've been in drought, but you got to take care of your house and your lawn and all that good stuff. So yes, I agree with that. Sorry, Vicky, go ahead.
I said it's amazing what a little water does with all these we're getting.
Well, and then our problem is, and I don't know if you know or if Isaac shared, but one, we haven't been getting water, plus Toho Water, who does our reclaim water or whatever, how we get our water here, they shut off all of St. Cloud's reclaim water. So nobody that has sprinklers, and our community, 100% of the community has sprinkler system. Well, I think there's one house that doesn't have sprinklers. The last house that was built. None of us have been able to water our grass for weeks.
Well, that's fine. Blast is going to help. It's going to, and I'm also seeing brown spots pop up, and I'm not sure if, just a response or whether there might be some bugs, like trench bugs or something that's growing in the grass. So I think an e-blast will call the attention to it, and then, allow them a little bit of time to work with it.
Yeah. And I want to remind for the homeowners that are on this call and the ones that will view the call later on, right? We always, if Isaac told you, we put these recordings up for homeowners to be able to see at their leisure and to comment amongst themselves in their house. But, there's only so much that the association can do too, and so thank you for, we're sending the notifications, and I think we lost Vicky. We'll send the notifications out and the emails and whatever, but it again falls on the homeowners. It's the homeowner's responsibility. And on top of it, looking at the list of our homes and like the contact emails and stuff, there's a lot of homes in here that are rentals. So the emails are not getting to the renters, who typically are the ones that are supposed to take care of the mowing, right? And taking care of the home. What's happening is that it's going to the property company, right? Because I can tell that there's several houses here that are owned by like a same company or like a state. So
when a violation goes out, the initial is that it's emailed automatically once the violation report. Once I click close out report, the email goes out, and then the letters go out to the property address and then the mailing address. So a tenant would still get that letter. Now whether they adhere to it is a different story. But the tenant, it would still get that letter if they're living on the property, and then the owner, if they have a different mailing address that they've supplied, they'll get that letter as well.
I just, again, we know that. I just want to make sure that it's on record for homeowners when they see it, that the association and that Vista is doing their part of the job, right? Of notifications and doing what it's supposed to be doing in terms of that. We often hear, well, that wasn't done, or they're not sending notifications. What is Vista doing? What's the HOA doing? And da 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 da. It's getting done, but again, it falls back on the homeowner or the resident of that home to actually follow through and do what they need to do. So, Isaac, I think we missed in the report the review of the summary.
The violation.
Yes.
I was getting to it. It's I know you want to share my screen. Let me scroll down.
Right, Imagine beautiful kitchen. I knew she was gonna.
Thank you.
There we go. All right. Now this is reflective of my April and May inspection, not what was done today. Today was mostly about showing Vicky around, but I did issue a bunch as well because things were just so obvious that they needed to be addressed. Let me share my screen.
So Vicky, FYI, for future reference, this is a little extra, something extra that we've asked Isaac to help us with at every meeting, to just show these P's of the report that shows the violations that have been issued So if you can make sure, please, that as we move on, that continues to happen, will be greatly appreciated.
So you'll see reflective of the April and May inspections, 60, there were 60 action items, 25 courtesy letters, so 25 initial letters went out, 8 for driveway cleanings and sidewalks, 5 for fence cleanings. There was 1 for mildew on homes exterior. We've noticed a slight uptick of that, of some clear staining on some of the exteriors of the units. Vicky witnessed it as well today. 2 were issued for the roof repairs, machine tarps. As always, when those violations go out, we request if there's an insurance claim or a pending roof repair that the homeowner submits records. When they do, we put the violation on hold till the repair is complete, and then we'll close it out after. If they don't submit records, then every month we step into the next step. There was three new ones for mow, edge, and trimming, 4 for weeds and lawns. There was 1 for parking on the grass, which was a new one. Where there was 1 in those months for I believe it was trailers. I did hit 2 today as well for trailers. So we are
Did you
enforcing the
see the
trailers.
camp?
I know
Did you see the camper outside today?
I issued that one as well. It was the camp. Yep, I issued that one because it was just it's so blatant. I think. And I explained to Vicky that we don't issue for commercial vehicles, but we do issue for trailers and boats and things and those. There were a few others that were stepped to first notice for the driveway cleanings, and sidewalks, roof repair. Another roof repair was stepped. Weeds and lawn was stepped, which means that unit owner was not addressing it in those 2 months. There was a driveway sidewalk put on hold. That homeowner reached out with pending completion. They were traveling. They said they knew it needed to be done, and when they get back in town, they would address it. And then we closed out a bunch as well that were addressed. 25 violations were closed out. There were 2 that were submitted to second notice. The architectural review violation for the paint for the unit that was painted not approved color. That is actually on final notice. That was stepped today to final notice.
Oh.
Then another roof repair was stepped as well. And then there's 1 violation with attorney, and we know what that is. So that was the violation report for April.
This reminded me, Vicky, when you send the email out about the grass stuff, can you also add a reminder to homeowners about trash cans? Because our bylaw said, and just FYI, because yeah, so our bylaw say that homeowners, that we are supposed to keep the trash cans, like, what is it, like hidden
Out of sight.
out of sight, blah 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 blah.
On non-trash days, out of sight.
Correct. So a few years ago, we made it with the management company before Vista, and we've carried it on that homeowners can have it on the side of the house, even though, and it's okay. We're not going to issue violations for it as long as they're kept on the side of the house. But I don't know why, I have been seeing a ton of houses with the trash cans in front of their house, in front of their garages. That is not what's supposed to be happening. The trash cans are supposed to be on the side, and trash needs to be inside of the trash cans. I've also seen an increase of trash bins on the side of the house, but then trash just on the floor.
Yeah, we had that 1 unit that we took about a month and a half for them to clean that area up.
Yeah, and actually there's a couple, and I've been meaning to, but I haven't remember when I don't know if you guys saw it today or not, but so if you could do those 2 notices, please.
All right.
Lee, you mean like you want her to e-blast those items?
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
Reminder. I was a reminder because, yeah. And Neil, are you gonna be the one? So an email's gonna go out first, right, for Vicky's change, right?
Yep, we will. We'll send that out.
Okay, so that's gonna be two different emails. So that's gonna be one email
Correct.
from about Vicky, and then
Correct.
another email from Vicky about.
Correct. So
Okay.
what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna send out the one introducing Vicky first, and then I'll let Vicky be the one to send out just an email blast, introduction, and then also, hey, I noticed this while in the community.
Vicky's gonna hit the ground running. Here's the new person already
Need
trying to make
business from
rules.
day one, right? No.
You ain't gonna be popular.
No,
You're muted. You're muted, Vicky.
Vicky, you're muted.
Well, we know it's not a popularity contest around here.
I wanted everyone to like me.
This is a tough. This is place rough. This is a rough place. That's
No, I know.
so. I think Vicky's trying to unmute herself, but she stayed. I think she's frozen actually now. All right, I don't think. Where are we in the agenda? I don't even know where we are anymore.
Business. So the first item on the agenda on business was. Right, so the first item of business on the agenda was the playground fence, which I stated in my manager's report. That project was completed. I inspected it. I sign off. I think they did an excellent job, although it took them forever. So that invoice was sitting at manager's approval, so Vicky can go ahead and step that to board approval so we can get them paid. So there really isn't anything new there other than it's been completed.
Am I back?
You're back,
you
Vicky.
Okay, good. Now I've got to
Right.
sneeze. Go ahead.
The next item of business on the agenda was you wanted to have a discussion about the new HOA laws. I did want to state, I know that you asked about which classes, should the board be taking. And I discussed this yesterday with both Neil and Tina. The classes actually have not yet been approved. They're all like they're vying, the CEU carriers and the attorneys, they're all vying for which courses they can present. Those need to be approved. So while the law may go into effect for like July 1st, there's going to be a lag. There's going to be a bit of a lag before those courses are actually approved that you can take. So once the courses are approved, then Vicky can get you over that information on which courses the board, should take.
Yeah, and Lee, like I mentioned to you yesterday, these laws that have been passed, they go into effect July, and a lot of it is we're going to be with everybody else, the attorneys, the other management companies, and even the state, going to figure it out as we move along. So what I'll do is I'm preparing something to send out to all of our boards, and just some things to be aware of. In terms of in the immediate from July 1st. For one, as Isaac mentioned, the education requirements are not going to go in effect. So I'm thinking you'll be good until, probably the end of next year before any board members will have to take those new courses. Some of the things that will be in immediate effect is that, first of all, from July 1st, we're going to have to email out all your homeowners a copy of their documents. That's something that the state legislature wants to make available. Some other things is that they wanted
a copy of their documents, meaning
the bylaws, the declaration of covenants and restrictions.
And that's to be done on a yearly basis?
Yeah, and I think, I'm not sure if it's a yearly basis, but they're asking from July 1st that we need to send that out. And then also on top of that, I mean, this is something that this has been doing for a long time. Whenever any, and I believe, I thought it was the law, but whenever any sale happens, you have to provide the new buyer with those documents. That's something that we always do. It's included in when they request the estoppel. So that's just something we're going to continue doing. But now it's officially a law. Some other things, including violations. I heard earlier you mentioned that you don't give violations for commercial vehicles, which is great because from July 1st, no one can issue those anymore. So that's going away. And then,
And are we okay with the fact that we've said that the ones that we would be able to do are trailers and
Yes, you that
Correct.
that can still be.
semis? Because we have semis here too.
yeah, no, I believe there's a weight limit that now classifies what a commercial vehicle is. Before, it was kind of arbitrary, and we have other communities where boards are like, well, just issue everything that's a pickup truck or above a commercial vehicle, and that's not gonna
Yeah.
fly anymore. And also, anyone with any type of advertising on their vehicle, you're not going to be able to violate for those
Yeah,
again.
we stopped that about 2 years ago. So
Okay, very good. Then, and like I said, I'll send out some more information. Another thing that's going to be applicable for you all, which you don't have to worry about, but it's going to be HOAs now over 100 units are going to require to have a website where documents are going to be available. That's your homeowner portal. You're already doing that.
we also have our own
Correct. You've got your own website as well.
website.
Yes.
Visit
Yeah.
Vicky, go visit it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Lee, were you able to update that already?
I sure did.
Nice.
And so we're
That's-
gonna, and as soon as
okay.
this meeting is over, I'll update Facebook as well.
Excellent. Gotcha. Yeah. So, like I said, I'll put together just kind of a summary just for all of our HOAs to be aware of, and I'll send that out before the end of the month for sure, so you can have it once things go into effect July 1st.
So we're in good shape.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of the things, which is what I wanted to say, but Neil kind of covered it. A lot of the new laws are things that you already are doing. Your Vista Camp already has been doing, so it's not something where you're essentially, changing everything that's been done. The biggest change is the educational courses that board members have to take. That's the major change, honestly. And there's a lag, so you'll be good there. All right. Was there any other business that the board wanted to discuss at this time?
I think we covered it all, unless you guys have anything else.
No, I'm good on mine.
All right. So at this time, I'll open the floor up to any homeowners who had anything that they wanted to discuss. Were there any homeowners that had any questions for Vista or the board at this time?
How about the mailboxes?
Is
What
there
about them?
They're all not uniform. They're not all the same. You got some with different ones altogether.
Yeah,
I'm just wondering.
It's my understanding that uniformity on the mailboxes isn't a board, requirement. We did send out ARC guidelines. I want to say about 6-7 months ago, in regards to what type of lettering we want could be presented on the mailboxes, because we did want all mailboxes to have the address number on the mailboxes. So we gave like guidelines out to the community as to, if you're going to paint them or apply like the stickers, what type of guideline you want. But as far as having uniform mailboxes, that's never really been a requirement.
So is that something that should be, if it's not obviously if it's not on bylaws, that shouldn't be on bylaw, that should be an ARC. So is it not in ARC that we have a standard mailbox? Because I'm going to say this, because the kind of mailbox, not the box itself, but the pole and the little squiggly thing about it and that is expensive. And there's not everybody carries it. Like I believe the only one company that carries it is out in, I don't know where. It's not even close to here. So my understanding was that we were supposed to have a standard mailbox. So Vicky, can we look at that in the ARC documents?
Yes, My recommendation would be to look through Lowe's and Home Depot and then maybe some general sites that carry mailboxes and find something that you like that would be of a modest cost, not necessarily expensive, but not necessarily the cheapest, something in between, and make a recommendation that for those who need new mailboxes, you could put that on the Facebook, or you can put it where you put other neighborhood information that they can pick up mailboxes from
Well, and again, the issue is not,
and have the code numbers.
I don't believe that the issue itself is the mailbox. And Mr. Benjamin, it's a black mailbox. The issue I think that we may be having, and please correct me if I'm wrong, or have you seen other color mailboxes?
Well, not other colored mailboxes. It's the ornament that's underneath it. It's
Yeah, that's
not
what I'm
all.
saying. It's the pole, because it's just a different kind of pole, and the
Okay,
ornament.
you want to have uniform mailboxes in the community. Is that what I'm understanding?
Correct. Well, we're supposed to, and we all, for the most part, have them. Where we run into
Okay,
issues is when people have hit them,
yeah,
and then the people, and then homeowners don't know that they can't just buy whatever they want, that they can't go and buy a swan for for a mailbox. That
yeah,
it should be the black mailbox, which you can get at Walmart, really. The issue
yeah.
is the pole
It's the pole.
and the ornament that's on the thing, the pole itself that holds what holds the actual mailbox up.
Yeah, yeah. Um, that
And
might
again,
be
I
some.
really haven't seen that. I don't know if Isaac has seen it or not, or if it's something that we just haven't looked at when doing. But I definitely would like to make sure that if we see it, we catch it and we look at it. And
The
maybe
only
we
thing we
just,
did,
like I said, maybe we just need to look back at the ARC.
the only thing we discussed during my tenure with you guys, what in regards to mailboxes, was
The
the
numbers,
lettering, the
which,
numbers, which we already published that guideline.
yeah.
We can take a look at the documents as well, and if we need to start just issuing courtesy notices and start there, we can.
Yeah. Well, I mean, again, I want to make sure that it's on the documents.
Yes.
And if it's not, then we'll have to, kind of like we did with the letters, right? It had,
Stick in
the
ARC
document
guideline.
has to be updated, and then the homeowners need to be, I can't
Yeah,
believe it.
I'll review the documents with Neil, and he and I will do a little review on that and see what seems to be
I can't believe
something
that it wouldn't be there. Like,
that we
'cause
can do.
I know it's been a topic before Vista. I know it's been a topic about,
Okay.
so, okay. Yeah, that'd be great if you guys can look at that, please.
Sure.
Any other homeowners at this time? Going once, going
I do want
twice.
to say that there was a positive, me as a homeowner, I'll talk as a homeowner. I want to say that there was a positive comment today on Facebook about our sidewalks and how clean they're looking, and they feel that maybe because we've stepped up, with notices and this and the other, that our doggy stations have been stocked. So please give a shout out to PLM for ensuring that work has continued on. So that was like our crown jewel of the day.
That's good. All right. So if there's no other business to discuss, is there a motion to adjourn?
Before we adjourn, I just want to say thank you, Isaac, for the time you gave our community. I believe it was a full year, right? That and a little bit, actually more than a full year, was it? So
Yeah.
thank you for your work. I wish you the best in your new endeavors. Love and health and money.
Thank you, Lee. I absolutely appreciate it. It was a pleasure working with you guys. We got it. We accomplished a lot. We accomplished a lot. Oh, there was one last thing. It slipped my mind. The LED bulletin board that you wanted us to investigate.
Yes.
Tina and I have done extensive research. We cannot find an aesthetically pleasing solar-powered LED bulletin board.
It doesn't need to be solar
We
powered.
need it. Where are we going to
We'll
draw the
put it
power?
right where the one we have now is, and there's
And
electricity.
there's a
there.
power source.
Yeah,
There
there's
is.
a power source.
Oh,
Yeah.
that
Well,
actually,
Isaac, that makes it so much easier.
that makes it so much easier. I thought it needed to
Oh
be
my
solar powered
gosh.
because I thought we didn't have.
No, so we don't have
power.
solar power on the sides or the boulevard, but in the first
That specific.
island where the Mallard Pond sign is, if we put it there, because our current sign, our current what's it called where we put the meeting?
Bulletin board.
Bulletin board.
Bulletin board, that has electricity.
Okay, all right. So that makes it simpler. So Vicky, before I
Yeah.
leave tomorrow, we'll quickly discuss what you should be looking for.
Yes, please.
All right,
Yes,
all right.
will do.
That's it. All right.
All right, so
Now
I
we're-
motion to adjourn our meeting at 6:56 p.m.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Hi.
All right, guys. Good
Okay,
luck with
who's
everything.
second?
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Isaac.
Nice meeting you.